So today, I just want to come on and have a conversation about something that has caused me a lot of inconvenience, let's say, since moving to Jamaica.
Jam from family, the Jam from family, yeah. Jam fam, come hang with me.
So, wagwan, big up yourself, whether you're there yard or you're there abroad. Welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. On this episode, I'm going to come on and talk to you about a matter that has caused me a lot of inconveniences since I've moved to Jamaica, and that has to do with the mobile phone. So in terms of the mobile phone, before we decided that we were going to permanently move to Jamaica, we would come and we would buy SIM cards. So those SIM cards do set you back quite a bit of money, and we would go back and keep our SIM card, thinking that we'll be able to come back and use our SIM card. But the fact is, whenever we come back, those SIM card numbers would no longer be ours, and they would have been gone off to somebody else. And so we had to buy another SIM card. And when you compare the cost of the SIM card, they're about more than three times more expensive than what we would pay for a SIM card in the UK, buying one here. And to be able to have to buy one each time, simply because the company decides that they're going to arbitrarily give your number off to somebody else, is quite an inconvenience. And the reason I'm coming on to talk to you about it today is because of something that has happened to me. One of them was just that point where I've had enough now. And the thing here was, I've had several calls that people have made to me, and when they've made the call and realized who they're talking to, they say that, oh, sorry, it's the wrong number. And these are people who it's not, and I know people might think that they might be scam calls or things like that, and we don't know if that's it. But one of the things I do know that it is not marketing, like you would get in the UK, somebody calling you up and you don't really want to talk to them because they've somehow done data harvesting and gotten your details and calling you to market something to you. This is genuine people who are trying to get in touch with somebody by the looks of it, because they're asking, is this such a person? And then they realize it's not, and they say, I'm sorry, it's the wrong number. And I've had a couple of those. I've had incidents as well where I've messaged people with the number that I've had for them, thinking that that's still their number, only to find out that the person I'm messaging is a different person. And trying to keep the numbers topped up so that they work. I do know that my sister has tried to top up hers, and then she found out that she was topping it up just to maintain the number, only to find out that somewhere along the line there might have been a lapse and the number had gone off to somebody else, and she didn't even know that somebody else had the number. There is so much wrong with that process, and I'll talk about that shortly, but I just want to go back and give you the thing for me that was just the last straw. So today has been a very tricky day for me. I woke up after 4, about 4:45 or so, with somebody ringing my phone, unknown number I don't even know. The number did show up, I didn't know it. And of course, shortly after, I silenced my phone, and then shortly after it rang again, and that jolt out of my sleep when it rang at that hour of the morning has, coupled with the fact that, we had a busy weekend, left me with such a headache, back of my head, the front of my head. Today I did very little because everything I tried wasn't stopping it. It's a bit less now, still at the back here of my head, but a little bit less. And Eliona came in and decided she's going to treat me to something that might make me feel a little bit better. And this is it. My yogurt bowl, and I'm going to indulge in there now. So it looks like some girl was trying to call her boyfriend or her partner, and she called in the wee hours of the night. One of them, I called back just to verify who this is and who they're trying to get a hold of, why they were calling that hours of the morning. And I didn't get them when I called back, so it went to voicemail. And then they called back, and then the person called back apologized and said they called the wrong number. So because the number has changed. And so at that point I realized, oh, this is another one of those things where somebody has had a number, for some reason they're not topped up for a little while, and so in that lapse of topping up, the number has now been sold off to somebody else. and people are constantly needing to replace their SIM card because of this, and it is so wrong. I mean, our SIM card that we have for the UK, we've had them for so long. We've converted our contracts onto pay-as-you-go, and we still have them. They're still active. We still get to use them. In terms of pay-as-you-go in the UK, we've had pay-as-you-go phones. I've had a pay-as-you-go phone for years, and I never tapped it up. I just received calls on it because, and so as to why this is such a prevailing thing that happens in Jamaica, it concerns me. And because of that, so many things can go wrong for people. For me, it was just the frustration of getting disturbed in my sleep because somebody knew that that's the number for their partner, calling them at that hour of the morning, and it ended up coming to my phone because of whatever had happened with their SIM card. And clearly it seems as if the SIM that I bought was their old number, and so now I'm being called. And I've had a couple of, as I've said, I've had a couple of those calls so far, and it makes me wonder what happens. For example, somebody who that's their number that they have on a job application, for example, and they're waiting for a call back for an interview. The people call, but they can't get hold of the person for a job interview. Or it's a medical situation, and that's the number the person have. They're waiting and they can't. The medical practitioner call, but they can't communicate with them. There's so much there that put people at risk because their numbers then get sold off to somebody else just because that they have a breach. And I do know that there is something wrong with that, which is why it doesn't happen in most other countries, but for some reason it's happening here. And it happens with both Digicel and Flow, which as most people might not be aware, but Jamaica has two main mobile suppliers, and it still is sort of a monopoly with them, because the fact is they do supply services, but the variety that they supply is very limited. They are set prescribed programs, so if you want any variation, it's so unlikely that you're going to get it. However, for me, the concern at this moment is just this phone issue, because there's so much of people's human rights that's been violated by it, and it's causing, it can lead to problems. And I know people haven't said anything, but it's a money-making venture for people to have to keep replacing SIM cards. You go out and you see these people, their jobs is to go out and sell SIM cards each day. That literally is their job, a salesperson selling SIM card for these different these two phone companies. And so it concerns me that it's happening. It happens with both companies. And the fact is that the UN Human Rights clearly says, in Article 17, it clearly says that everyone has the right to own property alone, as well as in association with others, and no one should be arbitrarily deprived of his property. Now, when you buy a SIM card is purchased by you, which means it becomes your property. At no point does the mobile company have the right to sell your number off to somebody else, because the number is part of the package that comes with the SIM card. So if they decide that they're going to sell off your number, give your number off to somebody else, they're depriving you of your property, because now you can no longer use that SIM card if it doesn't have the number. That is part and parcel of why it's useful that the number is on it, along with the other bits of information that it carries. But the primary carrier for it is the number. So if somebody is selling off, a company decides that they're going to give your number off to somebody else because you haven't topped up your phone, then that means they're arbitrarily depriving people of their actual possession, their property. And people haven't challenged it, to my knowledge. Digicel, for example, has some of its execs are from Ireland. They could not do that in Ireland because they would know that they're breaching human rights, and they would have lawsuits left, right, and center. They couldn't do it. Flow, which has some of its execs from the UK, they also are very aware that they couldn't get away with doing that there. And so why are they doing it here and causing the different problems that they're causing? I mean, these companies also have a duty to the people that they're serving to deal with them in honesty and fairness, because why would they decide that they're going to violate a human right to deprive people of their own things? So if you've bought it, why are they now selling it on to somebody else? So they're making money off of it several times over, at the disadvantage of the people who are now going to have to buy a new SIM card in order to replace it. And things like that definitely are things that we need to look at, how we can get these companies to do what is right by Jamaicans and do what is right to and for the Jamaican people. This is not something that happens in any of these countries in Europe and North America. So why are these companies who have roots in those places doing it here in Jamaica? also, we also have to look at the emotional, social, and the economical impact that it is having, and we something somehow needs to be done about it for those people who are affected by it, because a lot of people use pay as you go because it's a convenience for them. Reminisce on childhood. I used to have bad eyes. With the sun coming back, this is nice and cool and refreshing. Somebody was parched. It's getting hot in here. And we're only in March. Can you imagine? So, water done. I'm still thirsty. Coming in to get a quick meal prep selection from the freezer and trying to figure out which one works with the meal plan that I'm going with, and one of the things I need I cannot find, so unless I'm going to go to another shop or just do a quick transfer. I'm going to get some turkey neck, some fish, and I wanted some mince but I can't see the mince.
Turkey neck?
Yeah. Some fish and some mince, but if I don't find the mince I'll have to just substitute it for something else. I'm going to get some sweet potato as well to go with my collection. Come out and do a little quick shop for meal prep that I'm going to be doing, just because now that we've gotten to the end of Passover I just need to get into another little bit of a routine with the meals that we're having. So I'm just going to do a quick prep just to last us for the rest of the week. And so we're here just to get a few items, and somebody's trying to get things that we didn't have on our list just because it looks cute. Can you hear and see? Can't get stuff just because it's cute, it needs to be on our list. So we're going to go to the checkout now and see. I don't want an charcuterie board right now, but it's good. Okay. Meal prep time. And this is one of the meals. And it's looking nice and thick and ready. So this one is some soup. And it's beef soup. I have a piece of soursop. I was just eating some and I thought I'd come on and just show you and ask, how do you eat yours? Do you have it as a juice or have you had it as a fruit? And if so, describe how you think it tastes. It's nice and creamy. I thought I wouldn't make a juice with it today. I'd just eat it as the creamy fruit that it is.
Welcome to another challenge with the Jam Fams.
What's this challenge?
We're doing the ABC shape challenge, meaning whichever letter is called, we have to get into it. Like the letter A, B, or any other letter.
Okay.
Let's do it.
First letter, what is it?
Let's do an alphabetical order.
You want to go in alphabetical order? Okay then. So, A?
A!
B?
B.
Ah, I think I did B. This is B. Yep.
No! B is this way.
So I did it right the first
Or
time?
in the camera might be
Okay, next.
C.
Okay, I think
D
C.
would be the opposite word.
D.
E.
E.
F.
Thank you for listening to that, and that's one of my concerns for some of the things that I see happening here in Jamaica. And I like to remain fair and balanced, so I'm expressing that one here. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you for hanging around with us. Bye for now.